Hey friends, today I'm going to talk about what Vata is. You might have heard me mention Vata season, or you might have heard Vata dosha. So to back up, this information comes from Ayurveda, which is approximately 5,000 years old. It's the oldest known medical science, and there are some similarities to Chinese medicine, but there are also plenty of differences. So in Ayurveda, it's very connected to what is going on around us, like the seasons and the time of day and what time of life we're in. And first of all, there are 5 elements. So they are air, space, fire, water, and earth. And the doshas, when you talk about, oh, I'm a Vata dosha or a Pitta, you're not actually one thing. Dosha actually means more of like an imbalance. So we're typically born with one kind of constitution, and over time, sometimes we get out of balance because of where we live or the stresses in our lives. But we have a basic constitution. We have all the doshas at all the times. We have some Vata, some Pitta, and some Kapha. So what is Vata? Vata is a combination of air and space. And then just so you know, Pitta is fire and water, and Kapha is water and earth. So people that have a lot of Vata dosha, they have the qualities in them that present as what we would say is Vata. They might be cold all the time. Their skin and hair tend to be dry. They tend to be more anxious and fearful. They often have a thin body type, not necessarily, but a classic Vata person is pretty thin. And they're just kind of like nervous and always moving. So if you have someone in your family, or maybe it's you, someone that just can't sit still, and even if they're sitting down, they're like knees jiggling all the time. And, they don't sleep very well. Their digestion, someone with Vata digestion can have normal digestion one way, the next day it's like, kind of gassy, or you struggle with constipation. And so it's irregular. So with Vata, there's a lot of irregularity. It's not consistent and steady. It's just very irregular. And so when we get into the fall season, Ayurveda kind of classifies the weather that we experience in like mid-late fall, and then winter, part of winter. All this depends on where you live too. But where we live in the Northeast of the US, this is Vata season. We'll get a lot of wind. We'll have more dry weather. It'll be colder, and it's changeable, it's irregular. So that all those symptoms can then exacerbate whatever we're experiencing in our body. So if you tend to be already someone that has a lot of anxiety, or just tends to be more nervous or worries a lot, and then fall season hits and you may wonder what's going on. I'm not sleeping well. I'm feeling more anxious, and you don't know about Ayurveda, so you don't know what you can do about it. But there are things you can do. So the good news is you don't have to just experience this with no relief. So what kinds of things do we do when we're in the fall season? Well, we want to introduce a consistent schedule. So we don't want to get up one morning, at 5:30, the next morning at 9:30, be eating all different times every day. We want to have more consistency in your schedule. And you want to eat foods that are warm and moist and more dense, root vegetables. So more foods that are more substantial, foods that are cooked as opposed to raw and cold or dry. So we'll get into that more in another video. But just so you know, with Vata, there is a Vata time of day. There is a Vata time of year, which we've talked about. That's the fall season. There's a Vata time of life. So, and then there's your own body's constitution, your own body and your mind. And like I said, we have all the doshas, but we usually have like more of one. So Vata time of day, just so you know, for fun or just to be aware of, that's 2 to 6, and that's both AM and PM. You might notice if you tend to get insomnia or you tend to have sleep issues, that when do you wake up? It's sometime between 2 and 6. All those worrying thoughts come in and, oh, this and that. What if I can't do this? What if I can't pay that bill? What if, or I said this to so-and-so, and what if they don't forgive me? And all that stuff, often if we wake up, it's during Vata time. And then in the afternoon, a lot of times, from personal experience and from what I've heard from others, I tend to get really, really tired. And it's not because, I ate too many carbs for lunch, because I can do a carbless lunch, or it doesn't matter. There's a point, and usually about 4 is about my lowest point, and it's Vata time. And what I need is a nap at that point. I need to rest, at least to close my eyes for like 20 minutes. So that's the time of day. Time of year is fall, and time of life, Vata time of life is usually around 50 and beyond. So you tend to have more of those qualities of dry skin, dry hair, you feel colder, maybe more anxiety, digestive issues as you age. And so our daily routines matter, our personal care, our food and drink, herbs that we take, all of that stuff, the exercise that we do can affect how we feel day to day. So we'll get more into that in a future video.